right, welcome in. It's episode 44 of Rhymer on the Road. That is Ann. I am Scott. Thanks for following along with us as we crest the 3/4 through the trip moment.
Wow.
Kind of hard to believe that we are that far along in this, but we are indeed. So thanks again for following along with us. You can subscribe to the channel by just clicking the subscribe button and liking it, especially if you're planning some summer trips. You don't have to watch all of our videos if you're not into that, but you can kind of sort through from our YouTube page. All of the episodes are, they're all labeled where we were. So if you're headed to a place this summer or want to head to a place this summer and you want some information on it, you know, you could just go right to it on the YouTube page.
Yeah, watch the episode.
Yep, and of course you also can keep up with us in real time. We're a couple of weeks behind on the YouTubes by going Instagram.
Instagram, Rhymer on the Road. I'll post some stuff for our current location.
Yeah, you had some great posts from both Valley of the Fire and Death Valley National Park. Stay tuned for the Valley of the Fire because that's what this episode's all about. But we also let you know in the preview of each episode where we're headed next, and that is?
We are heading to the Sequoia Kings Canyon National Parks area.
Yeah, looking forward to this. We're in the Valley of California. We are not in a good time of year for the mountainous of the Sierra Nevada, but we're rolling the dice.
But I've been hearing some people say, I mean, right now there is snow on the ground in both of those parks, and they talk about how beautiful that is. So as long as we don't get another snowstorm, that would, the roads are clear now for the ones that would be clear this time of year. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the big trees with some snow on them.
All right. Well, give us your feedback on that. If you've been to this area of the Sierra Nevadas, tell us what to do, what hikes to do, especially if you've been this time of year and you want to give some input on winter and the Sierra Nevadas.
So we actually may not have many hikes.
That's right, especially if it's cold.
If it's snow covered.
Absolutely. But in this episode, episode 44, it is all about Valley of the Fire State Park and Lake Mead Recreation Area in Nevada. And let me just tell you, it's pretty epic. So stay tuned, roll the tape.
Hits keep coming like the beats we drop, oh yeah. Telling stories, cut the fake, can't stop, oh no. Living out loud, every move is bold. Keeping it 100, that's the goal. Lay it down, each moment we own, baby. Authenticity in the life we've shown, crazy.
I think we're pronouncing that right. At Luddle campground in Valley of the Fire State Park outside of Las Vegas, and this campground has been one of the most scenic that we've stayed in along this trip. There's no question about that. It is spectacular views. You know, it's not full hookup. You've got water and power, so we'll go to the dump station and dump on our way out. But in terms of the views, this has just been spectacular. You know, there's a lot of people who will dry camp near here, and I'm not against that if that's what people like doing, but it's worth, it's not a very expensive campground here. It's a state park, so to me it's worth staying in here. You get some amenities, you know, your water and your power, and you get the views. And in this entire state park, there's some great views, but quite frankly, some of the best views are right here in the campground. So highly recommend this place.
We ain't just talk, baby. We act and we prove, yeah. Show 'em what we got today, baby. Show 'em what we got. The views on the rise, but we keep it humble, ain't blinding our eyes. Keep the content fresh, feel the hustle inside. With ambition in check, we take it all in stride. Chasing dreams, not the likes, it's the passion we bring. Turning life into art with the vibe that we cling to. Real talk, real walk, that's the anthem we sing in this virtual world.
I must say, sometimes my ignorance about a place is what makes things so fun. And let's start with Valley of the Fire State Park, which is less than an hour outside of Las Vegas. And I don't know what my expectations were for this, but let me tell you, they exceeded them.
Yeah, I think I had an inkling of how nice it was because I tried to go a few years ago with my daughters. One of them had already keyed in on it and said we got to go there. We just ran out of time. It is, I'd say, one of the best state parks we've been to, right up there with Custer State Park, even the Redwoods State Parks area. And this one, I mean, it could totally be a national park. It's beautiful. It's got great formations, but it's also, I think, sort of small and manageable. I mean, you know, compared to like where we just came back from, Death Valley, that was enormous. So it is, you could, if you have a day, you can definitely see the highlights. 2 days, you can see most of it. In 3 days, you can do some epic hikes to add in there too.
All right, doing a little walk around on the backside here of Alley. We had 2 storm fronts came through while we were here. We had some serious winds. I mean, it was sustained winds, 20 to 30 miles an hour at least. I think gusts got into the 30s and probably even the 40s at times. It was a little bit disconcerting because you just really never know how your rig's going to hold up in those situations. And so we were rocking and rolling a couple times. Take a tour around Alley here this morning before we leave. I'll watch the slides go in very carefully today, even more so than normal, just to make sure, since we were moving around a lot during the storms, to make sure that everything goes back into place. But I've been very impressed. You just never know what your rig's going to do until it's put to the limit, and it was put to the limit with these storms here in Valley of the Fire State Park of Nevada, and by all accounts she's held up very, very well. And then we decided to hike.
Without
And
our
we're
rain
in the
jackets.
rain.
Actually, it's snow. You can't see it on me.
And it's so close to Las Vegas. So many people go to Las Vegas and, you know, do all the Las Vegas stuff, whether it's convention or whether it's for pleasure. It's such an easy day trip out of Las Vegas, and we saw a lot of tour buses.
A lot of day trippers. You could tell we hit around that 10 o'clock, 10:30 mark in the day, and the crowds, the parking lots started getting fuller. So I will say that's a tidbit. If you are going to be there and you're going to be staying there, get up and get moving early. And then enjoy the afternoons when most of those day trippers go back. But if you're in Las Vegas and you need to take one of those day trips, do it, because I mean it looked awesome and they were getting to do a lot of good things.
Yeah, we day tripped when we were in Las Vegas one time out to Red Rocks, which I thought was awesome. Yeah. But Valley of the Fire is at another level, in my opinion.
I think yes. If I had to choose between the two, I'd go Valley of Fire, no doubt.
All right, I want to show you something that was a little bit unique about this campsite, and that is the vertical lean that we have. It's probably hard to see on camera, but from back of our rig to front of the rig, we've got a pretty good downslope, which is probably the most extreme downslope we've had. And what that kind of makes happen is you really have to extend out your front legs, the lipperts. They are really, really, really high. In fact, I can walk under the overhang here of the front, which I cannot do typically. Normally I'm having to duck as I go through here because I don't want to hit my head, and I have hit my head a few times. But we had to raise the front of the rig up so much that you know, to offset and keep us level, to offset this slope. It's not ideal because, as you can see, our bedroom is right above, the bedroom slide up's right above the front of the rig. And the higher this is, the higher we have to raise the front of the rig off the ground, and the more of the stabilizers we have to use in the front legs, the more the rig in the back moves. When someone is sleeping up here and someone is walking back here, you feel it more in the bedroom. So we like to, when all's equal and we're on relatively level sides, we like to have the front of the rig as low as possible to the ground. Just one of those things that when you have the choice, you'd rather have this lower. We did not have the choice on this particular stop because of that vertical from back to front. But when you got these views, yeah, you can overcome that. Okay, let's go to the Lake Mead area, which was kind of a second stop as we left Valley of the Fire and we went down to the Lake Mead area. Let's start with Hoover Dam, which we had both been to the Hoover Dam before, kind of the overlooks of it, but this time we actually did one of the tours that were available for the Hoover Dam, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, it was actually kind of got a little up close to the dam, drove over the dam, and got to see some of the inner workings. Now, we didn't get to do the full-on private tours because they were already kind of booked up. So what we did was more the self tour, which I think was totally worth it.
Yeah, I think the self tour, obviously you just kind of come and you do your thing, and it's worth what we paid to do the self tour.
Yeah.
The actual tour, you go down into the Hoover Dam and all that. I think you have to be present to purchase the tickets, and then when we got there, it was going to be a little bit of a wait, and we were just like, nah.
Yeah. It was going to be over, I think, a 2-hour wait before the next tour. And so, lesson learned.
Yep.
We could have gotten there a little earlier, maybe when they opened, and could have gotten on one of the first tours. And I think, so there again, early bird gets the worm.
Right here's the spillway, one of the two. There's one on each side, one on that side of the Hoover Dam and one here. So this is where if the lake gets too much, or the river creates Lake Mead getting too high, it'll spill over here and go around the dam and not flood. But look how low the water is. You can see the water way out there, and it has at times gone over the spillway. So it is down a tremendous amount, and just shows you how much water is missing right now from Lake Mead. And you can see the color changes too on the bedrock there. It's a lot of water missing. Okay, we ready for a little Nevada?
I think we're ready.
All right. We'll be back in Nevada, though. We leave to go to California, but we will indeed touch back through Nevada on our way to Utah.
I think for an overnight, yeah.
Okay, but not much.
I don't think so.
All right, well, Nevada has been good to us. Very pretty. Let's see if I can get her on there as good as Carson does and you. That's okay. That's pretty good.
And we filled in the western part of the country.
I guess you would consider New Mexico desert Southwest and maybe Texas.
Yeah, probably part of it.
So maybe the western part of Texas. So we'll be hitting New Mexico, and we'll certainly be hitting the west part of Texas eventually. So I would say we will have closed the books at some point soon on the desert Southwest.
Yeah.
Very good. I did a good job, didn't I? Way down there is our RV. So you can see the marina below us. The estimated wait time
To launch your boat
is 4 hours.
That would be a hard no for me.
4 hours.
4 hours sitting here in the heat to get on the
just to get on the lake.
Yeah.
Okay, we are at the Lake Mead waterline from the year 2000. And you can see how far away it is. And I'm just gonna let the truck roll down. We're coming up now on the Lake Mead waterline in 2002. Another sign that'll tell you approximately how long you have until you can launch. So from here, you only got 3 hours until you can get into the water. That just hurts me to
I just
think.
can't think that's worth it.
It's not.
Now, some people have houseboats. I guess if you're launching a houseboat and you plan on being out there for a week or two.
Yeah, good point. From this angle is the Lake Mead water line in 2008.
So another 6 years.
And then from 2008 until 2026, where we are now, that's how much water is gone. It's just gone. Unbelievable.
We have found a boat graveyard of maybe salvaged boats that have come out of Lake Mead as the water has gone down. They've all seen better days. Especially that one.
All right, there you go. Episode 44 is in the books. We said in the video, and you saw in the video, the levels of the water at Lake Mead. That probably was the most enduring image that I have of that area. First of all, it's a beautiful area, but it's quite a stark reminder of the Colorado River and how little water is flowing into Lake Mead right now.
Yeah. I have to say that's the part that kind of surprised me. We did come across a rest area yesterday in California that had a sign saying because of the drought they're not watering watering the area, and I'm surprised we don't see more of that. But I feel like I read something that they have to use how much water they said they're going to use, so they're using it, and it's going down. I think they're going to have a problem here soon if they don't rectify it.
Yeah, or if the climate changes a little bit in terms of the El Nino or El Niñas. I don't know which one brings more rain to this area, but certainly they're hoping for that in the future because it is certainly down. And you saw that in very vivid detail in the video. So there you go. Episode 44 is in the books. We're back in California. We're meandering our way through the valleys of California. We got a couple of national parks coming up, and we got a really, really, really big national park coming up in about 3 weeks or so with some family coming to see us, right?
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, you have to stay tuned for that. We're not ready to announce that or get you into all of that, but it's coming. It is coming. So there you go, for Ann and for Scott and for Leo sitting on the other side of this camera. Thanks for following along. It's Reimer on the Road. Episode 44 is in the books. Don't forget, everybody, do it today.
Did you guys drive all the way out here?
We did.